I need to say thank you to my friend Cassie for this awesome sign. It's fantastic. Thank you so much. Here is Alisa Explains Nothing. I would like to thank my friend Jeremiah for being what must be my #1 fan, because he's guessing every week and he's getting them right. You the man. So the first one that I explained last week was Rush Hour. Such a good classic. Real fun time. I recommend it for you. The second one was Father of the Bride Part 2. Such a good time as well. It had been years since I'd seen the film, and you know, it still held up. It still held up. Who would have thought? Now, it's October, and there's a very important life lesson that I have to share with you. Do not, I repeat, do not watch scary movies when you're going to be home alone. It makes it that much more intense. I watched some movies with my mom. She came over. It was a great time. Jackie's working. I thought to myself, great. Jackie doesn't like scary movies. I'll have Mom come over. We'll watch some. It'll be great. Then my mom left. And I proceeded to turn all the lights on in the house. And I've been running around. Every room that I'm going to, I'm running. Yep. It's going to be a rough one. So let's dive into this. You've got this group of friends. And they say, oh, let's go away to the woods. Like, it's going to be fine. And they find this place in the woods. And let me tell you, I definitely wouldn't stay in a place like this. But they thought, oh, you know, this looks perfect. And I was thinking to myself, no, it really looks run down, looks a little desolate. The guy that you got the gas from before you went up this big long hill, he seemed a little sketch. I really just don't think that that's the vacation for me. But they were all on board. They said this is going to be a great time. So, of course, they're sitting there and they decide to play Truth or Dare. Why? I don't know, but they decide, yes, let's play Truth or Dare. This is going to be great. And this girl that's kind of like a straight-laced girl, they teased her that she was, of course, going to pick Truth. So what does she do? She says, no, I was planning on picking Dare. So they say, we dare you to go to the cellar. She goes down in there. She's got a flashlight in her hand, but she doesn't turn it on. So it's dark as heck down there, and you're like, what is happening? So then she turns the flashlight on. Of course, she screams because she sees something, you know. Well, then when she screamed, everybody else went down to the cellar, which, I'm sorry to all my friends, but if you were screaming in the basement, I'd probably run the heck out of the place. But they all go down there, and they're playing with these things that they find, and all of a sudden, these dudes in the control room are like, ooh, release them. Whoop, you guys won over here in maintenance. So you're like, what? And of course, zombies. Zombies start coming, and they start picking these people off left and right. But there's this guy, and he doesn't get the effects of this mist that they're releasing. So he's able to think a little bit. And he's not the type of character that you think would be able to think, but he can think. So he discovers this, like, electrical board or something of this nature. And he puts all the wires together, and boom, they go down in this elevator shaft, and they start going left and right and up and down. And every stop that they have is a different type of scary object. It's either a ghost or a werewolf or like a merman dude. And boop, jump scare, boop, jump scare, bah, jump scare. And you're just going, and then they realize that these other people are watching them. It's kind of like the Truman Show, but a scary version. And they realize that they're being sacrificed. So they flip the script and release all these things. So all the stereotypical horror villains, whatever word you want to use for it, get released. And they just wreak havoc on this whole group of people. And that's when you realize this is a fun time. And you jump out of your seat and you clap and you say 4.5 out of 5. The second one is an ultimate revenge tale. You have this lady and she doesn't like her life. She doesn't like her life because back in high school, something happened to her that made her feel bad about herself, and she never let that go. So much so that she decides to mess with the kids of all these people that she went to high school with. And she starts treating these kids good. Buying them alcohol, putting them in their, like, letting them hang out in her basement. And you're kind of watching this and going, what is this woman doing? This doesn't make any sense. Why is she feeding these kids alcohol? What's her agenda? She's acting creepy. She's stealing jewelry and what? All of a sudden, she's got this kid that at school was in a wheelchair, but now is in a wheelchair. And then you think to yourself, oh, she's definitely Munchausen this kid. And you think, well, okay, now what is this about? What is this about? And then she starts interacting with the parents who were actually people she went to high school with. And you think, oh, they're going to make amends with her. Nope, they were messing with her still, even as adults. And then it gets real bad for the kids. Real bad. They get locked in this basement. She's doing all this crazy stuff to them. And my mom called it from the back row. The kid in the wheelchair saves the day. But I would say it was an extremely enjoyable time. I would recommend you all to see it. Real good. 4.5 out of 5. I will see you next Tuesday. I'm actually off, so it should post. I hope you have a happy day. What was that?